Alright, so after being relentlessly harassed for months, I decided to play 100% and review every single Yakuza game. You know, I got people all the time going, "Day, you need to play Yakuza. Day, you need to play Yakuza." I just wanted to get into the series, messing around. Day, why you starting with this game? You need to start with 0. Either way, this includes all 11 games, starting with 0 and ending with Pirate, the most recent one. This was a colossal task of a video to conquer, and I'm excited to share my journey with you today. Sources tell me this is and I quote, an enthralling and deeply emotional series.
10 years in the joint made you a fucking pussy.
With gripping and brutal gameplay mechanics that aims to show what it means to be a real Yakuza member. Yeah, I don't buy any of that. Day, you have to cover the OG PS2 release with the cursed English dub. It's a treasure trove of hilarity. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Kiwami is a remake of the 2005 original game. While I'm sure there won't be too many differences, how about we do a quick cutscene comparison and I'll review the game that has the better writing and localization. And now for the original Yakuza.
Don't fuck with Kazuki-san!
How many times I gotta tell you, I'm not Yakuza. You retarded or just
Oh, Kiryu, you can't say that! Yakuza 0 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise, kicking things off as a prequel 17 years prior to the first game. It's 1988, and Kiryu, coming fresh out of the PS3, is looking delightfully devilish. So devilish, in fact, that he was framed for murder and removed from the group chat.
Learn how to block.
So Mr. Bachelor here has to go out and find a way to clear his name. So enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. You see, in Kiryu Roboblast 2, it's a platformer built off of a modified Doom engine and has been in development for over 25 years. The gameplay is pretty simple, but I really enjoy how well made Kiryu's moveset is in this game. Controls are a little slippery if you're new to this kind of game, but the devs really nailed the environment. And let's just say, Tokyo has never looked so fantastic. He's got a powerful punch, spinning kick, uppercut, and when combined with his other moves, you can pretty much go anywhere. Not to mention the super cool heat mode that lets him take down crowds of foes with ease. Other than that, Kiryu obtains all 7 Chaos Emeralds, beats Eggman, and peace is once again restored to the world, letting him finally rest at last. Yakuza 1 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise, as this is the game that properly kicked off the Yakuza series. This time, the story gets a little bit deeper, as our main man Kazuma ends up taking the blame for a murder he didn't commit to protect his sworn brother.
Ishiki, Yumiを連れて逃げろ. Stop right there!
Because of this, he spends a decade in prison, and once released is dragged back into the underworld to find 10 billion yen that's gone missing, and some deep secrets that will help him in protecting the orphans he cares so deeply about. So, enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. One of the highlights of Kazuma Rush Cyberpunk is combat, and while it's a little weak in this entry, I gotta admit, the movement options and style here are absolutely insane. Now, in order to become a true Yakuza member, you gotta take down rival clans, mark your territory, build up rep, get new gear, and take down the cops, plus anything that stands in your way, one obstacle at a time. I'm quite fond of purposely raising my heat level to the highest, yeah, and taking down these guys, in which I'll be dubbing the funky style. The best part about this game has got to be where you get unsolicited phone calls from Majima challenging you to random score battles every time you go to a new area.
Watch me die. Oh, I'm clean like that.
So, after defeating the rival gangs, making some friends along the way, and stopping a corrupt police force, Kiryu can finally rest knowing his name is cleared as he finally achieved going all city. Yakuza 2 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise, as it's the game that followed up the critically acclaimed first game in the series. This time the story starts off rather peaceful, but quickly turns sour as the Tojo clan chairman begs for help in preventing a war. However, this is all useless as they are quickly ambushed, and after going into hiding, it's ultimately up to Kiryu to track down the people that have been kidnapped and figure out this mystery with his fists. So enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. I have to admit, the minigame where you get to sing and fend off this kid is what really stuck out to me. You see, it's Friday night and Kiryu is feeling funky, so you both gotta sing through Machine Gun Kiss in an attempt to intimidate each other, but this guy won't leave. The game kicks it up a notch with Like a Butterfly. But yet again, Kiryu is still bested by this random kid. So, for the final song, Discernment, we pull out all the stops and make sure to play it perfectly. I mean, how come we don't miss a beat and yet we still get pushed down here? That doesn't seem fair. Then suddenly, 3/4 of the way into the song, we remember everything we fought for and we reminisce with this banger. Ultimately, after the song ends, we put our differences aside, get a drink with the dude, disarm the bombs planted, take out the big baddie, and once again, save the day with our hero Kiryu going back home. Yakuza 3 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise. The story this time starts with Kiryu at the Morning Glory orphanage, taking care of the kids, but his happy moment is cut short when he gets an eviction notice from the landlords stating that the land is planning to be sold to Tokyo investors who want to build a resort. So, enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. My favorite part has to be this scene here where Kiryu is running from the cops. I've seen people say that this part of the game is quite difficult, but in reality, it's all about reflexes and timing. Kiryu Unleashed has some of the best daytime stages in the entire series history, even if it's bogged down by a bloated leveling up system. The key to this escape sequence is quick thinking that enables you to take alternate paths and mastering the drift, not to mention the abundance of QTEs and management of ring energy. Be a real dragon, guys. This is canon. Bro does this in like the 3rd game. Yeah, that's B. That works, right? This looks like a Yakuza game. After that, Kiryu travels the world, visits the locals, restores power to the Chaos Emeralds, and seals away Dark Gaia, saving the world once again. Yakuza 4 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise. Alright, so this time there is yet again another turf dispute, and this ends with an officer getting killed. What makes this fourth entry so unique is the multiple playable characters that I will not be talking about because Kiryu takes 10 hours to show up! So enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. While combat has seemingly taken a back seat with this entry, I gotta say that Super Kiryu Ball Banana Mania is a great return to form after not being a big fan of Super Kiryu Ball Banana Floats HD and its past entries in the series. While not as perfect as the originals, this game still excels in creative, unique stages that test your patience, skill, and balance, even if the overall game seems like a step down in some regards. My biggest criticism would have to be how the story is now told in these weird cutout slideshow type videos when the original had full voice acting and animated ones. Anyway, after you beat all the worlds and EX stages, Kiryu has once again brought peace to Monkey Island and returns back to the orphanage. Yakuza 5 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise. After the last game, Kiryu wants nothing to do with the Yakuza and takes on a new life and career as a taxi driver. Honestly, I didn't get too far in this game, but enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. Kiryu Robo Blast 2 Kart is a spin-off of the already popular Kiryu Robo Blast 2, which is a sequel to Kiryu Robo Blast, which is a mod of the original Doom. He has some pretty good stats for racing, and I gotta say the devs did a wonderful job making such rich environments for him to race through. Even if the controls take a little bit of getting used to, I think it's really great. Either way, this was a really fun sub-story, and I really hope it doesn't get another sequel that ruins what made the first game so fun, like Yakuza Ring Racers or something. That'd be a terrible name. Yakuza 6 is a vital entry in the Yakuza franchise. The year is 2016, and Kazuma Kiryu willingly served 4 years in prison to clean his slate and move on. But after returning to the orphanage he cares so deeply about, it turns out his adoptive daughter went missing, and thus it's up to the funny dragon man to set out and find her. Well, turns out she was in a coma after being involved in a hit and run, and was almost dominated dead. Wait, that's a bad joke. And to make things even more stressful, she had a baby that Kiryu must now find the father of. So enough rambling about the story. How's the game? Honestly, it's pretty good. For starters, this game does away with all the side characters and focuses primarily on Kiryu and gives him an all-new city to explore. That's right, Flat Out 2 features our main man Kazuma Kiryu and a plethora of game modes featuring some of the best destructible scene in a racing game. And I'm a big fan of the stunt mode where you can launch yourself. I'm sure this is canon to the game somehow. But yeah, Kiryu beats Big Baddie and goes home. The end. Yakuza Like a Dragon Gaiden. The man who erased his name is a vital spin-off entry in the Yakuza franchise. I have a lot to cover, so let's be brief. You play as Kazuma Kiryu, also known as the Dragon of Dojima, also known as the Name. Apparently he did some good stuff and some bad stuff in past games, but now all that matters is Mr. Emotional Damage here is fixing up his life with a new name and identity after faking his death to protect the orphans he cares about. Well, turns out all that is worthless because Mr. Like a Dragon here keeps getting dead named.
Kiryu Kazuma.
After this, he searches for answers as to who did all this, gets dead named again, gets a taste of New Jersey traffic, fights this random guy. Wait, I got that dog in me. Faults the guy wearing Timu clothes, and he would have won the fight if it wasn't for the one thing that settles all arguments: a gun. They get away with Kiryu's friend. He's compensated with a $20 phone from Walgreens and told to wait for further instructions until later. Now that we're in this alleyway avoiding the cops, I do have a confession to make. A secret I haven't told a soul. So I'm gonna slow down and let it all out here. I tricked you! This entire intro bit was just a ruse to talk about Daytona USA 2, baby. That's right, let's go, because the heat is back! Let's go, baby! Released in 1998, 4 years after the original, Daytona USA 2 was graced upon the world with an even bigger and more bombastic presentation. So how do you outdo one of the best arcade racing games of all time? Next Generation Issue 11 shows that you collaborate with the world's largest military contractor for the technology. That's right, just like the Model 2, Sega made sure to go all out with this one. So building off of games like Virtua Racer, Daytona USA, and Scud Racer, Daytona USA 2 is much more aggressive, realistic, and refined than its predecessors. Most notable is the energy of this game. You see, when I want to race, I want to race. From the way the cars drive, to the sound design of the collisions, to the way your crew chief gets more and more excited as you're going through the race.
Time extension! Time extension! Time extension! Turn around!
After every lap, this is truly one spectacle of a game that gets me pumped. So why am I going crazy over this game? With the release of YaKOOza Gaiden in 2023, Daytona USA 2 was included as a mini-game, which is personally quite offensive because there's nothing mini about this game, but whatever. What's notable is that this is the first time this game has ever been ported to home consoles and PC, so I finally have an excuse to go off about something I absolutely love. So before I dive into this game, I need to explain two very important things so we're on the same page. The first is the name change. Yes, this game was renamed to Sega Racing Classic 2 due to Sega not having the rights to the Daytona name anymore. But for the simplicity of this video, I will be calling it Daytona USA 2. The second important thing I need to note is that I will be covering the Power Edition of the game. Long story short, when Daytona 2 came out, it was called Battle on the Edge. However, a few months later, the game was re-released as Power Edition. There are a few notable changes between the two, but since YaKOOza only has the updated Power Edition version, that's all I'll be covering for this video. While the first Daytona USA has quite a few ports, remakes, and soft reboots, the true second game was locked to arcades with no way to play them. I mean, yeah, you could get the game in some other ways, but strictly speaking in a legal obtainable way, this will be the first time many will even get a chance to play this. I know it sounds like I'm losing my mind and babbling about nonsense, because nowadays you can emulate just about anything on your PC, but for 1998 this was quite literally the pinnacle for gameplay and graphics. And the music, oh my god! Both Takanobu Mitsuyoshi and Dennis St. James do a phenomenal job singing on the OST. We all know Mitsuyoshi from games like the OG Daytona, Burning Rangers, and many other games. He's quite literally a living legend. But one thing nobody talks about is the American influence and contribution made by Dennis St. James, who does the vocals, and Reb Beach, who was the guitarist. So, a quick rant. I went down quite the rabbit hole on this seemingly small tidbit of information. When you search for Dennis St. James, you find nothing but the song he sang in a Sonic Retro article that might as well be useless. It wasn't until I dug through Discog that I found out his real name is Dennis John Feldman. And sure enough, you can find his credits and picture in Daytona 2 and Burning Rangers. I spent hours trying to see if this guy is still alive or makes music, but came up with nothing. So if you know something, please let me know. I just want to know if this guy's alive. As for Reb Beach, real name Richard Earl Beach Jr., he's quite the notable addition to the game's soundtrack, as he had some very notable roles throughout the years, most known for his contributions to Whitesnake and Winger. Reb is honestly quite the legend himself. I'm happy to report that at the time of this video, he's still alive and making music. But it's crazy to say that his career almost ended years ago when Metallica and Beavis and Butthead of all people made fun of Winger so much that Reb had to sell his house and guitars to make it by.
Really? You want to talk to me? Wow, that's cool. Let's go to the mall. I know this great new place. Yeah.
Honestly, this guy needs a whole dedicated video, but I'm getting off track. If you like rock and some sick riffs, I think you'd love his contributions. Now, to really get the most out of this game, I'll be consulting the official Daytona USA 2 guidebook. This came out alongside the game, but the kicker is that 1, it's all in Japanese, and 2, it's extremely rare. Like, don't even bother trying to look for it. It pretty much even exists online. After doing some digging on an old website though, I managed to find a guy who was in love with this game just as I was, but they actually managed to get a complete scan of the book. The only downside is that it's not in the best quality, as all the pages in the middle are blurred. But you know what? When doing investigative research, beggars can't be choosers, so armed with that and Google Translate, I'll do my best to break down any relevant information. So going back to the game, Daytona 2 has a total of 3 tracks with a special 4th challenge track. The beginner course is Sega International Speedway, a basic 8-lap race imitating the Daytona Raceway. The advanced course is Tokyo Joyopolis 2020 amusement park, which features a rich assortment of attractions as you drive through an amusement park from the future. And finally, the expert course is New Joke City, a combination of New York and more urban areas featuring a dense city, dock, and wide open fields. By the way, a big thanks to my buddy Sandwich on Blue Sky for helping me find a source of the track names, as for some reason when I tried to figure out the expert course name, the name Virtuous City would float around, which is not accurate. You also have 4 cars to choose from, and while you may think they're all faceless drivers, it turns out the official soundtrack actually answers this. First up is Sega International Speedway, based off the first Daytona 3.7 Speedway track. It's your basic racetrack, but the fun in this one, for me, comes from having 3 turns to master and plenty of room to slipstream the cars in front of you to let you speed up, which is a vital skill you need to master if you want to get first place. With this one being one of the easier tracks, it's all about endurance and execution to constantly slingshot yourself further and further on this track. The guidebook has a few notable tips on how to play well, even going as far as naming and listing off every single corner in this game. The guidebook encourages you to get as close as possible to the inside and take advantage of cutting off other cars, then gently moving to the right side. The guide also does a really nice job of not only showing you how to drive as well, but also how to do it if you're a beginner. Parts here, like cut the wheel in small increments, really shows that they wanted this game to be enjoyed by all. The handy map they show off here even has instructions for where to drift, shift down, then back up. Even the step-by-step instructions have a lot of personality, as you can feel the moment-to-moment excitement oozing right off the pages. Overall, Sega International Speedway is basic in design, but is so expertly crafted at every single turn that you can't help but try again and again for a better time or placement. One slip up can be the difference between winning and losing, and I'm not afraid to admit I sing the lyrics to Slingshot out loud while I'm gunning it.
A new winner!
Oh my god. Touching that wall almost cost me the race. Joyopolis is the advanced course of the game, taking place in an amusement park consisting of 5 unique landmarks that really goes to show how much love the devs put into this game. Starting off the race, you get to see this humongous pirate ship swing above you, and shortly after that, you get to Dracula Curve and the castle. It sucks this part is so short, but it does a really good job at being flashy, like any amusement park should be. The guidebook details how important it is that you should learn how to master the rocket start so you can overtake the first few cars pretty easily. Shortly after that is Alamo Turn, a section of the map styled to look like an old western movie, complete with canyons, trains, and a deadly turn for those looking to get the best time. Now, automatic drivers get it quite easily, but if you're rocking the manual, the guide does a great job of showcasing where you need to shift down and then up and accelerate to cleanly drift around that really tight curve. Overall, Joyopolis is probably my favorite track visually. There's so many things to take in, and every turn is an absolute joy filled with multiple set pieces. Oh my god! Now we just gotta do that, but better.
Game over! This is your crew chief! The course is tough, so good luck!
New Joke City is the expert course track, and it's gotta be by far one of the toughest tracks I've had to learn in this game. Featuring tall skyscrapers, open fields, and a wide dock, and the infamous Twister, this course is nothing to scoff at. Even with 2 laps and a relatively easy start, I guarantee you that you will come out of this race with either a newfound appreciation for arcade racers or gobsmacked at how brutal this game can be. Getting flashbacks to Empire City and Sonic Unleashed, I gotta admit, Sega has a knack for making really good city stages that either really test how far you can push your speed, because mastery of New Joke doesn't come from being lucky and overtaking first at the last second. Oh no! You are going to crash, you are going to slip, and you are going to suffer. Oh, what's that? You want to use the easy car? Well, good luck with that. While it's entirely possible to win, the lack of drift and heavy grip makes some turns a joke, but the low top speed will have checking your rear view mirror every 5... God freaking dang it. Pokemon! Nah. If you want to show Daytona 2 who's boss, you better be cruising in the Phantom or the Hornet.
No way, play.
Oh! Bro!
Oh my god!
Slammed me into the wall! Screw you! These cars are hard to drive, slip around every corner, and if you as so much touch grass, your speed is stripped away from you like the little loser you are. But eventually, you do get good, you do learn the turns, and the result is one of the most hardcore nail-biting races I have ever done in my life. That's slightly better than last time, but man, that is brutal.
Your place, 13.
You know what?
Game over!
I'll take it. But yeah, and that pretty much sums up Daytona USA 2. I mean, I have so many more things I want to say about this game, but I just can't fit it into this video. I would love to do a proper deep dive in the future that's not in a joke video like this. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. But at the time being, all I can say is if you get the chance to get this game, then again, you can always just emulate it for yourself, because let's be real, I don't know when Sega's ever going to make a proper port of this game. So getting back to Yakuza. So Infinite Wealth and Pirate. So I did promise you guys we would take a look at every Yakuza game in this video. So here you go. I said I'd look at it, you know. So go on, look all you want. I'm really tired and I want this video to be done. Anyway, next real video will be coming out sometime soon. Not that this isn't a real video. I spent a lot of freaking time on this. The editing's probably going to be absolutely terrible, but I'm having fun with it, and that's all that kind of matters. So thank you all for watching. You people are wonderful. And as always, stay foxy.
Game over!
Ooh, man. Ooh, yeah. Time for the credits, huh? Well, you know, in the spirit of April Fools and all things, well, this wasn't supposed to be lazy. Here's the credits, but you know, before I show you, these are the nodes I deal with. This is everything I've been building. I know most of y'all don't care about this kind of stuff, but this is how I built all the furniture, all the rooms. This is how I place all the people. This is how I do all my camera work. Oh, that's all in here, but on to the main thing. That's the credits. Where's that note there? Yeah, so I was gonna try to render this like I did for like my last video, but seeing as this would have taken 4 hours to render, I decided it's probably best to do it like this. I don't know, I thought it'd be funnier like this, honestly. But yeah, I was gonna have the camera like zoom in over here, start with me, and then pan down to everyone around the room. I wish I could zoom in and out a little bit neater, but whatever, I guess this is what we're dealing with today. But yeah, iPod Emma, Neon, Pac-Mania, Jordan. Hold on, not rotating. This thing does not want to rotate. Red Potato and Iron, Onyx over there. I see Blue Pixeling and Sam. Then on this wall over here, wants to cooperate with me. Ice Blue Star Cat, Talking Pringle, Leo, and Nico. Oh, these wonderful people in here. You peeps are cool. But yeah, I was gonna swing around the room like this, really cool, and then I was gonna like go through the door, so you know, like gonna like pull myself through the door physically. And then we get to the $5 tier members. Got everyone up on the ceiling over here. Get a nice, get that all in frame. Look at that, nice. And I wanted the camera to kind of like swing around, like be in the middle, and just like swoop around to see everything. Starting over here. Get over here. I know Veggie and Quote just joined recently, so very big thanks to them, by the way. Let me see if I can zoom out and get everyone in here. That looks pretty good, actually. The gang's all here. And then for our final tier, we get over here. We get Rix. We got Nick over there. CF Clocks, Miles, and Lyra. My wonderful, wonderful artist who was able to make most of this video possible. And by most, I mean that section with me yammering at Daytona, USA 2 at the little cabinet. She did a fantastic job with that. Also the thumbnail and some other stuff too. I'll probably put up on screen later. Yeah, but yeah, if you haven't seen, you know, this is my little 3D arcade I've been building. It's a work in progress. I like it a lot. But, you know, you want to be a supporter of the channel, I'll happily add you in here like everyone else. We got about, like, what? Officially, as of today, we have, like, 33 people. I literally just had someone join before I finished up. I think Hope did. It's not yet. But, yeah. You guys are awesome. And, also, you know, happy April Fools.